Oh, our boy Jimmy is making moves. This is very exciting. So, Jimmy is sensing some weakness, so he's using radio to reach his people. Clearly, he's been cut off by the president from using the television. That is unfortunate. But remember what that equation was. So it's x minus h and y minus k. Now, luckily for me, my center is 0, 0, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I do know by looking at the two equations, b and c have to be wrong, as well as a. It should be x squared and y squared. So now it's down to 52 or 52 squared. Keep in mind that it is the radius squared. If the radius is 52, then that means it needs to be 52 squared, so my answer is actually E. Jimmy is very talented here, shooting a rocket whilst on a horse. Very nice. The horse's name is Roderick. That's beautiful. So I need to figure out the angle we're going to shoot at. So since B is my angle, I'm going to decide what two sides I have. And it looks like I have the hypotenuse, and I also have the adjacent. This is the opposite side. So figuring out your missing sides is kind of the important thing in the trig, as well as deciding which angle you're actually looking at. So here's our angle, and I have the hypotenuse and adjacent. So I think back to SOHCAHTOA, and that means I've got A and H. So I'm going to use cosine. Cosine of the angle is adjacent over hypotenuse, so 2 over 5k. I don't have to find that missing side. Since they only asked about the angle, we are done here. It makes it look like we need to find our missing side, which may or may not be 21 or root 21. So yeah, be careful what it's asking. All right, and finally, Jimmy is able to get some R&R after all of his hard work, finally ascending to the position he always clearly wanted. So I set up my problem. It says 75 degrees relative to the ground, which would give me a 75-degree angle here. And then it says that the pool is 6 feet deep at that point. So I need to decide how far away that ladder is going to be. That's my question mark. So setting that up, this is my tan. They even tell you it's tan. So we are involving opposite for the 6, adjacent for the question mark, so opposite over adjacent, so that's 6 over x. I called it x, you can call it question mark, pokeball, doesn't matter. You can then cross multiply and then divide this tan 75 over to get 6 over tan 75. I have a suggestion that works for trig pretty well, and that is this. I call it the switcheroo. If you would cross multiply and then divide the tan back over, you can automatically, especially with trig functions, so be careful where you use this, but if I have a variable in the denominator for a trig function, you can switch the x and the tan's positions, thus pulling a switcheroo. So 6 over tan 75 would be my final answer. We are all very happy for Jimmy.